Hey everyone, this is a clip from a recent episode of Another Pass, where we talk about movies and all the struggles that go into making them. If you like it, check out the whole podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts. So, of course, we're talking about Halloween, which is directed by John Carpenter, written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. And for me, this movie has just always been a thing in my life. Like, I watched it when I was pretty young, like around, not super, super young, but like 10 or 11. And like, slasher movies were just like around when I was growing up, and Friday the 13th, all like Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I'm a kid of the 80s, so like they're just like they were there everywhere, and like Michael Myers was always understood to be like the progenitor for that type of like horror film. But I'm curious what everyone else's like association with the franchise is. Kambri, since you are our guest, what are your thoughts on Halloween?
Well, I saw it in the theater
Oh, wow.
when it came out on opening night at our local theater. I was probably 6 or 7 years old. My family is deaf, and so my mom would take me to movies as her little interpreter plus one. And so I saw a lot of very, very inappropriate movies, inappropriate for my age movies.
Right.
But Halloween, Friday the 13th, The Exorcist, Carrie, those were all movies that I saw live. And The Exorcist, I think I was 3 and when I saw that.
Oh.
I saw that at home because our family, being deaf, we would get movies on reel-to-reel that had captioning on them so that we could watch them at home, because there was no such thing as closed captioning on televisions, and there was cable didn't exist at the time. And so to watch the movies, the library had them that had the subtitles. And so The Exorcist, I was at home when I watched that, and that was truly frightening. Carrie is the only one that gave me nightmares. But Halloween, the movie-going experience for Halloween remains the top movie-going experience I've ever had in my life. Nothing will ever beat it. And I don't think it's even possible in this day and age for that experience to be beaten, because it was sold out, packed. No one had seen a movie like this, really. And the tropes that we're all so used to didn't exist. And so these were new things that were terrifying. And the one scene where Jamie Lee Curtis, she thinks that she has killed Michael Myers, and then he pops up in the background and he slowly comes towards her. That when he pops up, the whole audience just exploded, lost their minds. Popcorn was flying and drinks were getting spilled, and people were screaming like, "He's behind you! He's behind you!" And she's just like panting and not paying attention. It was mayhem and chaos, and it was beautiful, and it was communal. And I don't know if you can feel that anymore. I don't know if a movie would evoke that kind of emotion in people anymore, because we've all seen it.
Yeah, I mean, this franchise set the bar for so many that came after it. Sam, what's your association with Halloween?
I watched it today.
I figured.
For the first time? Sam, for the
first time. Yeah. So anyone who's listened to our podcast know I am a scaredy cat. Like, I am a self-proclaimed, absolutely self-preservationist coward. Like, honestly, I would have never gone to that house. My friends would have died and I would have been fine, because I'd be like, well, they're not answering the phone, so night, everybody. Because, like, that's how I am. Maybe I'd call the cops. I don't usually do, but maybe I would. I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I'd be like, well, I guess they're just doing stuff, and lights out, 2 kids with me. Like, there would have been no end to this movie, because yeah. So I saw that this was coming up. I waited till the last possible moment to watch it. But of course, because I have grown up in the world, there have always been inferences to Michael Myers, and honestly, there were several times I got yelled at by friends for confusing him with Jason, because to me, they both have a white face, so they might as well be the same guy. And
they're both wearing masks, in your defense.
Yeah, they're both wearing masks. It's just like, oh, what's the difference? Did I enjoy watching this today? No, I did not, because I'm a scaredy cat, and I did not. Do I admit that it's good filmmaking? Yes, this is a good movie. It is a good movie. I hated every minute of it, and I hope I never have to watch it again. That is definitely how I feel. But even though this is, kind of the blueprint, right, for all of these movies that I also don't watch that have followed, and even though those things have been mocked in other things that I've definitely watched, it was really well done. The suspense is still there. There's still
it really
moments.
Is.
I got through it. I'll admit this. I got through it because I was coloring. I was coloring in a kawaii coloring book,
Right.
and that definitely helped me.
You were just channeling Kyle Richards, just like there. Like, I'm just going to enjoy some media. There's a killer out there, but I'm just going to like zone it out.
Yeah, just some light coloring. But that scene, exactly that scene. She thinks she's finally won. I mean, he's already come back once. She's sitting there. She sent the kids out to go get help. And she's just there, and she's panting, and he starts getting up, and I'm like, I've heard about this, but this is still fucking scary. Wow,
It is.
that is really well done.
I
And she has
know.
no idea. She has no idea he's getting up. She's just like processing. I will be honest, if I were her, I would never, ever sleep again. I would never sleep again.
Remember, if you like that clip, check out the podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts.